Hey, what's up? It's Randy from Lamb of God. We're at Chicago Open Air with the Loudwire.
What's up, everyone? Graham here with Randy Blythe of Lamb of God. Thank you so much, man.
How's it doing? How's it going?
Awesome to see you. Awesome to see you, as always.
Yes, we're in the foggy mist.
Yeah. Do you see that? Look at that atmosphere. It's the Holy
we have
Spirit.
Big budget special effects today.
Very good. Well, thank you for bringing some of your stage show here to this table. I know you're on tour with Slayer and Behemoth right now, and that's phenomenal. But I want to talk about the Bad Brains, because I saw you do that show in Brooklyn in front of like 70 people, fronting your favorite band, and it was a really special moment, I think, for everybody in attendance. So I want to know how you felt about that.
It was pretty unreal. I mean, I posted on my one social media account, Instagram. I was like, this is one of the best nights of my life, and it was. Because it was Daryl, their bass player, is my buddy, you know.
Sure.
I met him through John Joseph of the Cro-Mags, and it was his art opening, but they didn't announce that Bad Brains were going to play.
Nope.
So they asked me to do a couple of songs because HR doesn't really do the fast stuff so much anymore. You know, he just had brain surgery.
Yes, he did.
But he's
doing really well.
He's doing really well. So is Dr. No. You know, better than I've seen HR in years, but. They asked me if I would do it, and I was like, are you kidding me? You know, because people have asked me before, what band would you sing for? I'm like, Bad Brains. Yeah, right. You know, and then it happened.
Right.
And so, like, for us to just come out and play and nobody to know, and there'd be like 75 people in this art gallery, it was a spiritual experience for me, man. It was so cool, and the vibe was so positive.
It was.
Everybody was so freaking happy.
Everyone was elated. It was a really special moment.
And it was good for them too, because they haven't done a show like that since the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like an old basement show too, which it was great. And you know, they're playing Riot Fest this year. Can we expect to maybe see you make an appearance?
You know,
is this is this a not to be discussed publicly?
I mean, I'll just put it this way: if the dudes in the Bad Brains say, "Hey, Randy, come to Chicago," I'll be there.
All right. So if you're looking to see the Bad Brains in Chicago, I would recommend it. Let's say that.
I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying if they ask me, I will ride a skateboard there if I have to.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, you'll see HR there, and
he will definitely be there.
HR sounded good.
He did, man. You know, the thing about HR is people ask me immediately after that show, because they're like, how was HR? And of course people ask about Dr. No, because he was in really bad health 2 years ago, almost died.
Yes.
And the fans really came together for that with the GoFundMe and stuff, because he almost, you know, these aren't rich guys. These are the Bad Brains.
No, he works at a grocery store.
Yeah, these guys are real deal punk rockers, you know, legends. But people asked me, like, how was HR? And I was like, man, he's better than I've seen him in years. Because he had these insane headaches called, they're cluster headaches is what they call them.
They call it suicide syndrome.
Actually, and a friend of mine at home, who was actually, ironically enough, in an SST band himself called The Alternatives, which was Bad Brains label. He had them too. And his wife has told me, you know, she would find him in the middle of the night in the park in the winter in his boxers, just not knowing where he was, just wandered out. So apparently it's some of the most intense pain known to man. And when you deal with that for a long time, it's going to make you erratic. So HR is well known for his interesting behavior.
Yes.
You know, we've all heard the stories, but he was just so mellow. He sounded good, and was just a lovely human being to be around, and, you know, such a big influence on me.
Absolutely. So with this tour of Slayer and Behemoth, I know you've been a good friend of Nergal's for quite some time. I saw you in the photo pit in their recent New York show about a year ago.
Yeah, I was there for about 3 songs before people were like, ah!
Yeah, exactly. You put some really good photos out there on your Instagram. You know, was it your friendship with them that helped make this tour possible?
I cannot take any credit for that. I think what happened is Slayer's management was like, we want to put together just a brutal freaking tour, and like You know, management came to us. We were in Tokyo, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to go on tour with Slayer and Behemoth?" I'm like, "Well, yeah,
Yes.
we do. It'll be a lot of fun." So, no, and you know, we've known Slayer for years and years, and we've known Behemoth for years and years, and it's really cool to have us all together.
Absolutely. Recently, we just wrote a piece about this on the website that it was the 5-year anniversary of the initial Czech arrest, and I want to know how your life has been, because of course that's a small period of the time of the last 5 years, but in the rest of it, it seems like you've had a really happy life in these past 5 years. I want to know what your life has been and just how you're doing.
I'm really well, and my life is not always happy, you know. That period of my life brought a lot of sadness to me, you know, and that's still with me. That'll never go away, but that's something that, you know, I deal with, I've come to terms with, and that's just part of life. Life isn't always fun. I think for me, I'm just, you know, really trying to move forward creatively in lots of different avenues.
Yeah.
And that is what really satisfies me. I'm lucky enough in that, you know, I quit drinking. I always tend to bring up drinking whenever I talk about my life because it's such a huge, long, important part of it. When I quit drinking almost 7 years ago, it was like I was still creative while I was drinking, but it was like there was a damp filter on it, you know? And when I got sober, it's like that was ripped away. So my mind is on overdrive all the time, you know? I'm writing, I'm shooting photos, I'm making music, I'm just doing all sorts of stuff, you know, becoming really engaged with life, doing a lot of surfing. That provides a lot of balance for me, you know? That's the physical sort of balance in my life. So for me, as long as I'm just moving forward and creating things that I think have artistic merit, I'm generally a pretty happy guy. Yeah. Not every day is sunshine and unicorn farts, but that's not the way it is for anyone, you know?
Sure, of course. Man, I want to thank you for giving me some of your time today.
Of course.
I always appreciate talking to you.
Always good to see you.
If you have not, pick up that Duke EP from Lamb of God. Also pick up Dark Days from Randy. Honestly, I've read a lot of musicians' memoirs, and Dark Days is my favorite.
Thank you, man.
Extremely well written. The storytelling's phenomenal. I really can't say enough about it. Thank you so much, Randy.
All right, hold on.
Let's end this thing right.